A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members. It's a very pivotal day in the test match when you look at it, day two, but there are plenty of concerns over certain things. One is the weather, and the other is Rishabh Pant's injury status. Now, yesterday, when Pant got hit on the foot by attempting a reverse sweep against Chris Wokes, he was in immediate pain and he just could not stand up also. Now, the latest update that the BCCI has given is we are monitoring the progress. Pant was taken to scans to the hospital, and it is very unclear still whether he will bat, whether he can keep. But looking at the nature of the injury, it looks as if he can't keep. That is the thing, because you saw the footage, you saw how badly Pant's foot was bruised, and that's why looking at it and the swelling and the blood that came out, it really didn't look good. So that's why Rishabh Pant, maybe he will not be fit in this match to keep. Batting, maybe he can come out and bat, but effectively India are 5 down. And because of that, it's not going to be easy for the rest of the batters to start, because today England will be having the new ball. And because of that, if India can get past 400, then they would have done a great job indeed. But the weather in Manchester is very dodgy. Today is 56% chances of rain. Today and day 5, these are the 2 days in which you are going to see rain. However, if you look at the rain threat closely, 56% means you're not going to have complete washouts when you look at it. At this point in time, the weather in Manchester suggests that you will get some sporadic showers during the afternoon period. After the afternoon period, it's relatively simple. You can then ensure that you go and play. So that's why morning and evening towards the late session, you might see play. Afternoon session, you may see some stoppages, but the weather has changed from what it was earlier. So that's why UK weather, day 3 and day 4 are fine at this point in time. Day 2 and day 5 are rather dodgy situations at this point in time. So it is a really big situation developing in Manchester at this point in time as far as the weather is concerned and on Pant's injury status. But all focus today will be from 1:30 p.m. IST with the ACC meeting in Dhaka. Now, Rajiv Shukla will be attending the meeting, but he will not be in Dhaka. He is going to be there as a virtual representative. Virtually, he's going joining, and two other boards, if I'm not mistaken, are also joining virtually. Now, what is going to happen? The ACC meeting has been done to ensure whether the Asia Cup is going to happen. We don't know the status of the Asia Cup yet. But yes, the only confirmation that we can bring you is that Rajiv Shukla is going to attend virtually for the ACC meeting that is there. This is kind of a U-turn when you look at it, because BCCI had said if the meeting is held in Dhaka, we will not, and I repeat, we will not be there for we will not attend it. But now they seem to have clamped down a bit. They seem to have said, okay, we'll attend the meeting virtually. Now, what can happen? Either it's stalled, that you don't have a date, you don't have a tournament, this thing for the Asia Cup. On the other hand, when you look at it, maybe they will say, okay, you can play it on September. That's the period. So yes, Asia Cup, you will know the status about it mostly today, but mostly it could also be a stall tactic to ensure that, okay, let's rearrange and postpone the meeting to some other date when you look at it. So not really good things happening outside of the cricket field as well, because in the current environment between India and Pakistan, in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor, how can you play cricket with each other? Yes, the problem with the Indian administration, the problem with all the other things is that you have allowed sporting ties to develop in other sports. For example, hockey, the Junior World Cup in particular, there is a bit of doubt over the Asian Champions Trophy in Rajgir. But apart from that, you played the Davis Cup, you played squash events. During Operation Sindoor, you played even a beach volleyball tournament in Oman. So that is why total sports boycott, somehow the administration is not able to enforce it. And hockey in particular, you may not want to enforce it because your Olympic aspirations are right there. Because if you deny a team at this point, then there will be sanctions from the IOC. And because of that, IOC will want to ensure that, okay, let's just sanction India, and you have 2036 Olympic dreams that might be thrown into the wreck. So that's why plenty of confusion that is there regarding the Asia Cup, plenty of do's and don'ts That is a really, really big problem that's going on at this point in time. So this is a really big problem. Asia Cup, will it happen in the current environment? It shouldn't happen, but you've seen in the past, even when there was a full scale war during 1999 in Kargil, sports is different from politics. That is how the peaceniks were going about it. That time you played a World Cup game. And that is why, how ironic it is that 1999 to 2025, some things don't seem to have changed, but we don't know the official thing of the Asia Cup at this point in time. Whether this meeting will clear it, only time will tell at this stage. So 1:30 p.m. onwards, the meeting is expected to begin. Let's see how it goes at this stage. So that is about the Asia Cup. The meeting will happen at 1:30 p.m. Let's see, 1:30 p.m. IST, 2 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time, Dhaka time. So that is the biggest update that we are giving you at this point in time about the meeting as far as it's concerned. Now, there is going to be another conundrum in hockey because in the FIH Pro League, New Zealand, who won the Nations Cup, have withdrawn. They are not going to be part of the Pro League in this season as well, which means Pakistan will come into the FIH Pro League. And Pakistan's entry means India will have to play 2 games against them. Now that will be a real test of when India, whether they can afford to play or they'll relinquish the Pro League points as well. But again, as I mentioned, hockey is an Olympic sport. If you do not uh, play another nation and you boycott them, then you also will get sanctioned in the process. So that's why it's going to be very interesting. Until August 12th, Pakistan will have to give a response whether you are going to play in the FIH Pro League. And if they play, then you are going to see 2 matches between India and Pakistan in next season's FIH Pro League as well. Now, as far as other sports news is concerned, Spain have managed to ensure that they have managed to win, that they're in the very elite stage at this point in time because Eti Bonmanati has ensured that her extra time goal has given Spain glory in the women's Euro competition. So that is one major update that we are giving you. Today, you're going to see the Women's World Cup tiebreakers that's going to take place between Koneru Hampi and Lei Tingji. If Koneru Hampi wins, you are going to have an all-Indian final. It is historic. And Koneru Hampi will also seal her berth in the candidates at this point in time. So today, you will see the rapid tiebreakers. But apart from that, Divya Deshmukh had already ensured that she's there. So it's a huge achievement in more ways than one. So fantastic achievement indeed, and one hopes that Koneru Hampi can really go about in a big way. King Abdullah, let's wait and watch for this. And Vijay Raghavan, Pant update. BCCI are monitoring his progress. He was taken to scans. Pant, at this point in time, the injury doesn't look good. If the BCCI hasn't given out a proper statement, then that means they are still waiting on some things. And freaking awesome. For 432 is India's highest total in innings at Manchester. So do you think India will score 400 plus without Pant? Let's wait and watch. And Shauri Holla, I've given a Pant update, my friend. You can check it out in the very beginning that I've given a Pant update. Check that out. One shouldn't mess with Ben Stokes. Raja saying Gill learns it the hard way. Yeah, it is really a big problem. Why freaking awesome? Why England are not playing any test at Chester Street over 2016 despite they have a 100% win record there? They have never lost a test there. They won 6 out of 6. Ask the England Cricket Board why they are not playing at Chester Street. But I think this time you couldn't play at Chester Street the test match because already the women's ODI games were scheduled there. So that's why I think they want to give an equal opportunity to all the things. And yeah, this year was not possible. Maybe next year it might be possible. So let's see how that pans out in a way. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this morning wrap. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. And don't forget to tap that bell icon so I know when we go live. Bye-bye.